Hey guys, it is your girl Jada and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about some things, so make sure you grab your snacks, your drinks, whatever is needed, and let's have a little discussion. If you haven't already, of course, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And let's get on into this chit chat. I really wanted to do something a little bit different. I feel like I always do hair videos, and sometimes your girl is not in the mood to just be sitting down and doing her hair. And I was like, the last sit down video was iconic and I feel like it was what I needed. So I want to touch on some subjects that I've been thinking about, and why not just sit down and talk about it. So we are going to pull up my notes app because I have some really exciting things for 2025, and all of it is like working pieces. I mean, guys, I literally have so many cute things coming up for this channel, so I'm very excited. So like I said earlier, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do so. And today we are going to be talking about distancing yourself and possible destiny swapping. Just to like begin, I have not been on social media what feels like a year, and I really needed to take some time to just chill, relax, not even on like a stressful level, just on a level of just like I needed to just kind of recharge and restart and, you know, get rid of all of the information in my personal CPU, and that way I can just grant new information. So I had been manifesting, learning a lot of experiences, and that's exactly what I got in 2024. So it's nice to be in the new year and I have a clean slate. I'm not really reliant on the past, which is something that I feel like I had to move through and get through. And 2024 was just kind of like a rethinking, regrouping stage of my life. I completely didn't even like go out at all, like, which is kind of crazy. And even when I went out, it felt forced. So yeah, and I feel like sometimes with like the end of TikTok and just social media changing so much and kind of having a lot of moving parts, you have to be able to adjust to the times, obviously. And it's so funny because like my age group, we complain about how our parents don't know anything, or like not even our parents, like older, more mature coworkers, or, you know, our parents, like they don't know how technology really works, and it's changing like a lot. Like it's changing a lot, and being reliant on my phone sometimes was just kind of like, girl, like I need to take a break. I need to decompress. I need to distance myself and understand who Jada is in 2025 for the years to come. So I was just like, okay, I didn't announce it. I didn't say anything crazy because I think that's kind of lame, but I didn't announce it. I was just like, I'm just gonna take a break. I'm gonna scroll on TikTok only. And now that TikTok's ending, it's kind of like, oh my gosh, like what are we gonna do? A lot of people keep talking about, oh, you weren't there when Vine ended, you weren't there when MySpace ended, but for some reason it does feel like, what's going on? Like the fact that TikTok is done for is kind of like, wait, like you gotta readjust to that. So it's just a lot. So I took a break and I was really head in books, like my head in books, my head in school, my head on my roadmap for what I see myself next, like what is my next step, my next move. And I really took the entire year, what feels like, to like figure that out, like try my best to figure that out. And in that time I did distance myself from friends, social media, like all of that stuff, and it just became one of those things where I was like, okay, this is what I need to do for myself if anyone out there watches their favorite YouTubers and all that great stuff, or they follow their favorite people online, like people just have to take a moment for themselves and really command respect in that moment of solitude. And that's a lot of things that I learned about myself. I have to just feel the solitude, feel the distance, feel the time alone. I'm an only child, so I'm not too far from being kind of like by myself when I need to, but really just being by yourself, taking a break, cutting the cord with pretty much everything, and like literally have your lights go black, so that way you can kind of like think about what is needed for the next version of you. So I feel like I'm in the next version of myself, because the older version was very kind of like stagnant. I was trying to figure out how I wanted to view things, what things might look like. What I'm interested in is my only priority right now, and that's kind of like why I'm doing a different sit down, because I feel like sometimes when you kind of just regroup and you understand like all of the things that you fell in love with before, they still have a place in your heart. And I think that that's always kind of like been my thing, like filming and working with cameras, finding out the best resolution for all 3 of my cameras and figuring out which cameras work with what. I've really been into looking up lenses recently, and like that's something that in 2024, if I didn't take the time for myself and really understanding like what I like, I would not go back to it. So yeah, I just think, you know, Rome wasn't built in a day. And if I know a lot of people talk about how you're supposed to kind of like emulate people that you aspire to be like, and the people that I aspire to be like, they discuss like taking time for yourself to see what is at the end of the road, like to get to the end of the road. Like I watched tons of documentaries, I watched tons of like self-help things, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I just really need to just set aside a break and do so. So that is something that I loved about 2024. It just was that break that I had to like really set aside, think about what my next moves are, and really command respect within my solitude and myself. Like, you know how your mom or dad or whatever, they'd be like, it's that phone. Sometimes I feel like when we're talking about things and people have an opinion, it can be overwhelming to sometimes sit and listen to like so many different opinions at once. And like people are always, I feel like online, they're always telling you how to think, feel, see, breathe, look. So it's so important. I guess it goes back into my distancing myself thing. It's so important to have your own opinion and feel how you want to feel and do what you want to do. Because I mean, obviously, you know, you can listen to everybody's opinion, but if you don't have your own opinion, if you're not able to make your own decisions, feel how you feel, you know, it's just sometimes not as healthy. So that was also something that I realized. I was like, oh my gosh, like I have to think about what is true to me. And your eyes sometimes can deceive you, and it's so important to think about things before you react or before you form an opinion. You know what I mean? Because I feel like sometimes we hear like someone say, no, the sky is blue. But you're like, no, the sky is indigo. You know what I mean? Or the sky is light blue. It can be sometimes literal sometimes. So it's so important to look for yourself, think for yourself, have your own opinion. If people don't agree with your opinion, those people are not the people for you. And that's something that I also had to learn. Like, just because we have a different opinion does not mean we hate each other. We don't agree. And that's how the world moves, because there's brains literally for everyone. There's not one singular brain. Like, there's not. Another thing that I learned with reading is the time you have off your phone is vital as well. Like, sometimes I do agree, we need to touch grass. Like, we need to touch grass. I think it's important. I think it's healthy. I think it's like nice, you know? It's really nice seeing everybody kind of like be in their own self-help situation, but like really sometimes it is vital to touch grass and to like chill out. Like, chill out, touch grass, because girl, like sometimes it could be overwhelming. I read something that Jeff Bezos does. He doesn't even touch his phone an hour after waking up, and I feel like that's super important. Like, I think that's super good to not rely on your phone immediately after you wake up. Like, your phone, I'm sorry, but I have my emails, I have things, I have everything on there, so I can't just not have my phone. But that time that I tried not looking at my phone, maybe not an hour, but like 15 to 30 minutes before, after waking up, that helped me not like be so reliant sometimes on the opinions of other people. So try to form your own opinion. Try to think about what you like, what you want, what you need in order to be like a fantastic version of yourself, because everyone is trying to get to the best version of themselves. Or not everyone, but majority of people are trying to get to the best version of themselves. No matter how hard it looks, how easy it looks, it's the goal. So try your best to get to the best version of yourself and respect the downfalls, the mistakes, the issues, the hardships, because it's real. Like, we're all real people, so it's real to like have different feelings, opinions, everything. So try your best. That is the end of the video, you guys. I am so thankful to sit down and get it off my chest and just relax and yeah, just take my time. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.